Hey, this is Jim. Welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. This is one of those episodes today that's on YouTube and on our podcast channel, wherever you're listening today. So if you're listening to this only, you'll want to go to silentjim.com/podcast, and you'll want to check out and look for the YouTube link so you can come see this episode and meet Mr. Adam Chantos. He's my guest today. There wasn't a whole lot of visual examples used, but I did go into, I whipped out my leather-bound book here where Adam had written a note to me a while back, the first time we met. And we talk about that in the episode today and what that's about. It was kind of a cool moment. If you want to see that and see the note. But Adam is a guy who has a young family, 3 kids. He has a goal of being home with his wife and kids and homeschooling, using their Amazon business that has grown in just the past, it's been less than a year, and it's exploded to, they've had, 6-figure months, and they're on their way to having their first $1 million year right now is their goal. They're coaching students of ours. JimCochranCoaching.com has details on that. They're proven Amazon course students, provenamazoncourse.com. They built an incredible business. They have their eyesights on multiple income streams. They've got some very specific, neat strategies to share today on how you can grow your business, scale efficiently. They're using family to help them on their journey. Just a really neat guy who's working, by the way, full-time, 40 hours a week as he's doing all of this with his wife and with his brother's help to build this incredible business. They have their eyes set on a huge Q4, which I think we all should. Q4, of course, is the final 3 months of the year, the fourth quarter, October, November, December. Online sales this year are going to explode, unlike ever seen in the history of humanity. Amazon's going to explode. You heard it here first, and we're going to help you get prepared for that. There's a link in the show notes, actually, with some details on that as well. Every link that we mentioned on today's episode, just as a reminder, you can go to silentjim.com/podcast, or if you're on YouTube, look at the show notes. We'll have a link to everything. So you don't have to jot anything down as we roll through this episode. But I'm going to get Adam on the line right now. You're going to hear the update from him. Just like I did, I hadn't talked to him since our last conference. The Proven Conference is where we met, and he shared some of his story there. And this was a great update to hear how their business was doing. You're going to enjoy meeting this young man. He's got a bright future, and I think he's going to really encourage you. So let's jump over and get Adam on the line right now. So Adam, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio, man. It's been a while since we talked. Fill me in. What's been happening?
Hi, Jim. Yes, it has been. I think last we spoke was at the Proven Conference this past year.
That's correct.
Yep. It was when we first had our engagement, and business has been booming ever since, man. I have a brief timeline to go over with you from the point where we started our business in August of last year up to current. And man, it's been a joyful ride for me and our family.
That's beautiful, man. So yeah, just talk me through it in any order. Start wherever you want. I know we've got some great stuff to share with the listeners today from your story, and I know bits and pieces, but man, just fill us in on the journey.
Absolutely. So it all started, I would say, about a good 2 years ago. My dad introduced me to your podcast, Jim Cochran and a Silent Sales Machine. Like, oh, cool. Well, like anything, I put it off, and I was engaged with my work. At the time, I was working anywhere from 50 to 70 hours. Long nights, nonstop hustle at work, and just trying to make ends meet. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of our 3 kids, and she does a wonderful job at that. We have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old boy, and a 9-month-old girl. So our household is rather busy.
Sounds like that's beautiful, man. And your wife's been able to stay home the whole time. You guys have been committed to that, huh? That's awesome.
Absolutely. That's our goal, is to homeschool our kids and bring them up and be very intentional with them.
So beautiful.
After
wow.
putting off the podcast, I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. So I have about a 40-minute commute to work, to and from, so it's total 80 minutes a day. So I started engaging in a podcast. I'm like, wow, Dad, this is rich stuff. He has really good content, very successful stories. I'm like, okay, well, let's give this a try, So then we started doing a little research on our own. I've not touched the PAT course or done much research. And then we did our first buy. and my goodness, was it a bad one. um, we went into it not knowing much at all. We opened our Amazon account in August, and we made our first sale. Our first sale was one item that sold for like $13. So we were jumping up and down, going crazy.
That's great. The first sale is a big deal, man. Print it, frame it. I'm coming up on an anniversary on my first digital sale, actually, now that you mention that. And I've got it framed. I just looked over to the side here. I'm looking right at it. I haven't noticed in a while. I'm coming up on the anniversary.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah,
20
it's great
years
to have
ago.
that milestone. So then August ended. We did 360 in sales. Like, cool. And then September came. Well, prior to that, we saw all the talk about the Proven conference. We gotta go. We gotta check this out. So my father and my stepmother, we made a trip, and man, did we thoroughly enjoy it. We enjoyed every bit of it, all the content that you provided, um, all the people that we met. It was so positive. I've never been in such a engaged, exciting environment before.
And those videos, by the way, are part of the Proven Amazon course now. If you buy the course, you get our events. So if you're wondering what Adam's talking about, a couple of the sessions are posted free on YouTube. We turned them into podcast episodes around September, October 2019. You can find our keynote and that kind of thing. It was an incredible event for sure. And speaking of that event, you didn't know I was going to do this, man. I was flipping through this book a few days ago. I don't know if you remember doing this or not, but you came up to me. I don't remember this because there's about 800 or 900 people at this event. I remember meeting you, but I don't remember. I think you must have had me sign your book. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, because the reason I know that happened was because anytime that happens, I ask people to sign my book. And this is a little book I keep. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the book. If you're listening only, you're not missing much. It's a little cool brown leather book. But I ask anyone who asks for me to autograph a copy of my book, I say, hey, write me a little note in my little leather bound notebook. And it's just sometimes it's someone who we just met. Other times it's people who've had a deep, meaningful impact from this community and leaders. And I just want to read a portion of what you wrote. Is that okay to kind of set up this interview today?
That's totally fine.
Because I doubt you remember word for word what you wrote because it's been almost a year. But
I was so shocked. I'm a celebrity.
there are zero celebrities in this community, buddy. We're all business building warriors in the same trench. All right. You said, hey, thanks for the MST for the community. My goal is to be a stay-home dad with my 3 little ones. Your content and passion and the podcast and the recognition you received is well deserved. And then you go on to talk about an idea you have and reach out to you and how thankful you are for this community. I'm not reading it word for word, but you signed it, Adam. Like that's your goal, though, is the thing I want to point out. You want to be home with your kids and you're supporting your wife and be home with your kids. And I want to talk about that journey today. I don't recall exactly where you are in that journey, but I know it's going well. And this last update I heard. So let's keep the story rocking. I thought that was kind of cool that I just happened to cross that a few days and I go and I said, because I like reading through this for inspiration, encouragement. There's about 150 notes in here from different events I've been to and things. And I saw your name pop up. Oh, that's cool. That's who I'm going to be interviewing on the next podcast. Cool moment.
Yeah, that's our goal, Jim. You keep telling we'll be families, fathers, mothers, home, and I'm so thrilled about that. Because knowing I can quit my 9 to 5 and provide for my family, being at home, that's my ultimate goal. Is to help my wife out because I know what she does day in, day out. The homeschooling, maintain the house, the kids. It's a lot of work. I'm more than happy to be able to stay at home to help her. That goal is very, very reachable for us now due to learning what we've learned in PAC as well as our coaching. Our coaches are absolutely phenomenal. We have Larry and Sue Pruitt and Gail Trend as a reactive coach. Anytime I send them a question, no matter if it's early morning or late night, they're immediate on the response and they help us in a bind if we have one. But that dream is very, very close.
Oh, that's beautiful. So what are those benchmarks on the horizon? Do you have any monetary goals, or you're trying to put so much away in the bank before you make the leap? How are you processing this decision?
Correct. I work for a pretty big manufacturing company in aerospace. So I'm looking at finding other streams of income besides Amazon. So I feel I have safety secured for my family and I when I do leave the company, because I'll have to look at doing benefits on my own. And I feel with the time I had with the COVID thing going on, we had a little time off work. And my business partner is my brother, and he had a longer time off work. So we were able to pour 100% into the Amazon business, and our numbers has skyrocketed. So by seeing my current employer I have now is kind of holding me back from the possibilities of what there is to come. And I say our numbers easily doubled from the previous month by us committing that much extra time to the Amazon business.
That's awesome. Could you mind sharing some numbers? Nothing that you're not comfortable with, and also you're still full time employed, correct?
Correct. I work 40 hours a week in addition to our business.
Beautiful. Okay, so before you jump into the numbers, do you want us to? This happens frequently. People will say, "I don't necessarily want my employer to know I'm going to be making the leap at some point, soon as possible." We can make this an audio only and keep your last name out of it if that helps.
That's quite all right. I've spoken to coworkers briefly, and even my boss, and he's thrilled to see that that's a possibility out there.
Okay, so we can leave your name and face, and we can make this a YouTube episode, which we always like doing. There's some people who watch only on YouTube. Which for you YouTube viewers right now, let me just give you guys a quick lesson, quick reminder. Only about 10% of our episodes are on YouTube. The vast majority of our episodes are audio only at silentgym.com. Jump over there, click the podcast link. You're missing out on a lot of great episodes if you're only seeing us on YouTube. But okay, so numbers.
Yes. So numbers, like I said, we started in August. We ended the month with $360 in sales. Like, okay, that's exciting, you know? So then we came to the Proven Conference in September of last year. And my goodness, like the inspiration, the fire was there. We left there so inspired. And we're just like, we got to get this, both feet running. Let's go. So then October, we doubled our numbers. We did 625 in sales. We mainly did retail arbitrage, which Jimmy Smith, he gave in his interview saying, yeah, I spent about 3 or 4 hours in an aisle. And yeah, that's what it takes to find those replens, those items that sell for a good profit margin. You will spend that much time in one aisle easily. I learned a little hack that he taught is when you take pictures of these aisles, my camera, the gallery is full of product. And I like to do research in addition at home as well on the computer. So that helped a lot. And then,
Yeah, and that's when someone for those who don't know what we're talking about, standing in an aisle for 3 to 4 hours. What are you scanning every can twice? We're not scanning barcodes. The replen strategy, which we talk about a lot around here. I'll put a link to a recent training we did, a free training in our Facebook group where we kind of went through the basics. That course is on sale. It is, well, here's what's driving the huge numbers behind replens right now. The number of people shopping online doubled in the past few months. Amazon is struggling to keep their shelves stocked. So there is $100 bills blowing in the wind of literally any retail store you can walk into right now. And that's not an exaggeration. Once you know the strategy, the replen strategy, you're not scanning barcodes. We teach you how to search by the names on the cans and the names on the brands. And it's not just grocery, it's anything and everything, any category. It's incredible right now. And it's some straightforward training. I'll stick a link to that in the show notes, silentgym.com/podcast, and go to the link for the free training about replens that he's talking about. And yeah, we're just seeing so many success stories right now. A record number of people jumping in and succeeding at a big level. And it's not a flash in the pan thing either, Adam. In my opinion, we've now shifted as a culture in a big way towards online shopping. It may taper off a little bit, as life gets back to quote normal, whatever that becomes. But more people than ever are shopping online in bigger numbers than ever before. This opportunity is not going anywhere. It's just getting started from my vantage point. So that's cool. So you're using replen training and you're putting up some nice numbers. Okay, keep the story rolling. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just trying to keep up to speed for the newbies out there who don't know some of this terminology.
I totally understand, and I appreciate it. When I listen to your podcast, you go on in-depth detail on such topics because it's a lot of acronyms to learn, starting out as a newbie. And then November, we decided to do the coaching. I wanted personally to take 1 year to make mistakes, to learn, from my errors, and to I wouldn't say struggle, but just learn from my experiences. But then I spoke with the coaches, and no better time than now. The sooner the better. I wish I would have started when I started, because my goodness, were they a breath of fresh air. My father invested in me for this, so I couldn't let him down, and I was 100% ready to go. So with our coaches that we had, Larry and Sue, we on November we hit $3,300 in sales, and this is only the beginning of the story. In December, we were so ecstatic. We did $6,012 in sales.
You remember the number, 6,012. I love it.
My brother jumped on board, and that was a huge help, because at that point I was doing it solo, and then my father was helping me in North Carolina. So our team was kind of divided. My brother lives locally, so we partnered up. And with that teamwork, we excelled even more so. So we ended 2019 at $10,300. And then come January, we did $17,800. That's when we fully embraced the replens. And we tested many products. Every week, we would do 5 to 7 tests. From those tests, we would roll in and invest into larger quantities of that product. And then the following week, we would test 5 or 7 more. So it's critical to constantly do the research to keep growing your business, to keep what works, and then get rid of the ones that don't work. That's what I love about this. It's such a low risk avenue to make money, because you're not investing thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I had a conversation with a CEO of a major corporation who was stepping away. He'd received severance, and he said, I've got plenty of time to learn this, and I've got plenty of money. I'm going to, how much money do I have to spend to ramp this up quick?" And I said, your pile of cash isn't necessarily an advantage. We're going to teach you to test small, to grow slow, that you can scale rapidly once you have wins. It's going to be nice to have more investment cash at that point, but it's not like you can just write a $10,000 check and off you go. We don't teach that. We don't even know how to teach that. We teach basically when you're out shopping for replens, you go out for a few hours and you find 5 or 6 or 10 or 30 new $5 or $10 a month income streams. You find a bunch of them. So you spend your day finding 10 or 15 $10 to $15 income streams. So you created $250 a month for the foreseeable future for a day's work. You do that every day, it stacks up, and you can get far more aggressive and stack it up a lot faster than that if you choose to. But it's a very part-time, very flexible, very low risk. Like you said, at no point are you going out and buying 10,000 units of anything and hoping it sells and marketing your way out of that big hole that you've dug, which is what a lot of other courses teach, by the way. We don't. Even our private label training doesn't teach that strategy. Replens certainly doesn't. It's that inch deep, mile wide, meaning 5 or 6 of this item, 3 or 4 of this item, 5 or 10 of this item, and you got a bunch of different items. So it's inch deep, mile wide, bunch of different products. And the ones that are popping, you pay attention. If it keeps selling out fast, yeah, get more. Yeah, contact the distributor, find a wholesaler, go a little deeper, right? So that's what you guys did. I'm curious, before we move through the story, I love that you're hitting the numbers. What does the daily routine look like for your crew? You don't have to go super deep, but you're working full time. Your brother is
full time as well.
Between the two of you, is that the team? That's all the workers you have?
We have my niece, his daughter helps as well, and my wife has been a big help in all this.
So she does a little bit of everything. She sounds like someone that needs a raise, man.
She's a superhero, absolutely, man. So our later goal is to save up for a house. That'll be her raise, our raise. So our daily would be, I would take many late nights. Actually, let's tell back a little bit more. Your podcast, Jim, really touched me when you said you have to be engaging with yourself to invest in yourself. That you have to put away all these distractions, whether it be streaming videos online, video games, all these hobbies that don't make you any progress to your business's future. That touched home hard. I realized how much time I was wasting on a rabbit hole of YouTube videos or just mindlessly watching some TV series. I can do that stuff later.
Social media. Yeah.
Yes.
The window of opportunity, the you, what you need to do when when you're engaged in those activities, especially if it's in an unhealthy way, is just imagine all the money you're losing sitting there wasting that time. Now,
Yep.
there's a time to relax. There's a time to enjoy family and gather around, and get a bowl of popcorn, and watch the latest terrible Disney movie. But you've got to stay, you've got to stay hitting it. We're built to do, to act, to build, to create, and there's a great deal of satisfaction in that. Yeah, so yeah, you've got to set aside those distractions. It's a discipline, and our culture just doesn't teach it. Our culture. It was sad to me to see, for example, Adam. Just you kind of brought out a soapbox I haven't got on in a while, but I watched as our culture said, "Okay, here's this virus. So here's the plan: stay home, stay safe."
Mhm.
Bump up your Netflix subscription. We're going to send you a check, and help you out a little bit. Just chill, eat some ice cream, sit on the couch, watch some day TV. No, this is a window of opportunity that you've got to
Mhm.
jump on. You've been given some time, jump on it, build something, multiple streams of income. This is a window in time that's not going to be repeated. Make something of it. I was frustrated. There weren't more voices out there saying, "Hey, what are you going to build? What are you going to do? How are you going to take advantage of this time? Not just to spend more time with your family. That's a beautiful thing. Yes, that's awesome. But what are you going to build with this extra time that you have?" So, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Hopefully, that challenge, the way you said it and the way I've said it, challenges someone. There's opportunity right now. There's $100 bills blowing in the wind, and every time you grab one, it's because you're serving someone well. Get out there and do it.
Yep. I totally agree. And then my brother made a relationship with one of the big retailers that we source from. And I love that you teach that as well because it's critical to talk to people, to be engageful, to get to know them. He spoke with I would say, one of the head managers there. He goes, I see you quite often here. How about you give me what you want, the quantity, and give me 2 days and I'll have it here. I'm like, brother, what a win that was because we're not shopping 5 to 6 locations to fill all the product that we need. We're just making a simple phone call and he's ordering it for us and we're picking up in one store. Like, that is so neat.
That's beautiful. Yeah, there's a perception out there for some reason. Our minds tend to drift to the negative, and we think we're going in and we're doing something almost like, "Oh, I hope no one catches me," looking over your shoulder. Like, "Yeah, I'm going to buy 15 of this unit. I hope no one thinks that's weird." Businesses are in business to sell stuff.
Mhm.
You want to build a relationship with the manager. Be transparent with them. It's going to pay off. For every manager that comes over and says, "You're not going to clear our shelves," you're going to find 15 managers that say, "Hey, yeah, help us make more money. We can buy as many of these as you want. How many do you want? We'll set them aside in a box in the back and you swing by and grab them once a week." You know what? You're going to find a very cooperative, even at the stores where supposedly they don't like resellers. There's managers that have a brain that to see above those restrictions that pass down from corporate. They've got numbers to hit. They want to
Mhm.
sell stuff. They can order more for you and help them. Now, there's going to be some lost leaders where maybe they're like, you know what? Whatever the hot toy for Christmas is, we'd rather have because that's what's bringing people in the store. Don't clear the shelf of that, please. But that's not where the money is anyway, long term with replens. It's in the stuff that they don't mind selling a whole bunch of to you. So, yes, build relationships. I'm so glad you brought that up. I haven't mentioned that in a while. You want everyone in the store at management level and even the cashier smiling when you walk in the door. They know your name, they know who you are, and you build a great relationship with them and you're helping them make money.
Absolutely. And then another neat win we had with a relationship we built with a different manager. There was this toy we're seeking out. It's very sought after. And she goes, well, this guy comes and stocks the shelves day X, Y, Z. I go, well, thank you. That's good to know. I mean, I feel terrible buying out any set item because I like other people to get the item as well. So just talking and being engageful. It's maybe going to be uncomfortable getting out of your bubble, but just have some conversation with people. But in January, I think I gave you January's numbers. So February, we did 23,000 in sales. That's when we opened up our LLC and we are fully committed. And we got some insurance as well for our company. And then we dove into OA, online arbitrage. And that has helped substantially, especially with this day and age of limitations on what product you can buy. And, so certain stores being open and not. But March we did a big number, 81,500 in sales.
That's a beautiful number. Wow, and that's not that long ago.
Because we learned the OA, all the shopping we're doing for RA. Our daily would be every other day we would take turns shopping, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, and then we would take 2 days out of the week to pack and ship every Wednesday and every Saturday. And Sunday would be our day of rest. We go to church, be engaged with our family. But on top of our 40-hour work week, Monday through Saturday was our Amazon work week. And we would do about 70 to 80 shipments a week. 70 to 100 shipments a week. And to this date, we've been doing shipments ever since November when we started coaching. We haven't missed a ship date. And that's critical in growing your business and finding help to help you with your business.
Yeah, so don't let product accumulate in your living room.
No. My wife definitely gets stressed out because jumping on boxes and going crazy and there's nowhere to walk. Yeah, it's definitely, she gives me a reason to get this stuff out so she doesn't have to
good for her
stress out about it. So then March we opened up some wholesale accounts as well. I got a hold of some wholesalers and we were able to establish some good accounts with them, built some relationships, and found even more product to sell on Amazon. And then in April, our record month, we did $135,300.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's ramping up, man. It's up to the right. What's your margins along this time? I'm sure there's people asking as they listen.
Yes.
What's your approximate margins month to month?
About 38 to 43% return on profit. So.
That's great.
And then, with that number being as large as it was, that was the glimpse of what it looks like making Amazon your full-time job. Because in the month of April, with that 135, my brother and I were at home. He was doing RA, I would say, a good 10 hours a day, every day. And I was doing sourcing, finding us more products, and prepping things. So we would prep together, ship together, and take turns shopping. And it's just hard to fathom, Jim, that like where we started, $300 in sales in August, and what we hit in April, just mind-boggling. And that's only Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
But you've been very focused in. You've taken full advantage. Were there any habits that you changed? I'm interested to hear, like, what would you have been doing with your free time otherwise if you didn't have this Amazon business going? Or another way of saying, what did you kind of set aside? What have you sacrificed from your personal time and free time?
Sacrificed a lot of screen time. I felt I was wasting quite a bit of my leisure time with just the television.
Mm-hmm.
And just not being engaged with the possibilities of being at home and seeing this light and this real bright image of it's around the corner. You got this, Yeah. I just put all my distractions away as well.
So you gave up TV, and in exchange, you're going to get to be home with your family. Mm-hmm. To reduce it down to its bare equation. Yep. You gave up TV, and now you get to be home with your family and making more money than you were employed working full time. Not just, not just putting more money in the bank. You're home. You're waking up together. You're homeschooling, doing life together. That's what we've done. My oldest is 23. My youngest is 13, 5 kids. We've homeschooled since they were all small. The reality that you're setting into has been our reality since they were all, I've been full-time 17 years. And I can tell you, Adam, there hasn't been a single day where I woke up and thought, man, I wish I had just stuck with corporate 9 to 5, 40-minute commute both ways. I wish I just, not once has that even been on my radar. Right. It has its ups and downs. It has its, days of stress. It has its, huge victory win days. But being here with your family and having had that journey, it's just priceless. And the stuff that your kids are going to see already, you're ingraining in them. I'm sure they've seen some toys come through the door, for example, and like, no, these aren't for us. Today's not Christmas.
Amazon gets these. Okay.
That's Amazon's. You can tell them, well, it's not for Amazon. There's another little girl out there whose mommy's probably planning a birthday party, and this is going to be a very special present for her. And we're helping make that happen. How exciting is that? We're helping someone else's birthday be great so they can start getting this sense of, oh, business is about serving others. Oh, okay. When I'm putting tape on this box for mommy and daddy, I'm actually helping a customer have a better day and get what they want and need. And then they have this entrepreneurial thinking process. And regardless of what they do with their life, they're going to understand what it looks like to serve others. It's all around them all day, every day. The benefits are just immeasurable. I haven't seen it accurately described yet. The benefits of having a home based business and your kids watching it happen. The closest thing that you can kind of relate to would be maybe raising a kid on a farm where they're raising the chickens and they're feeding the cows and they see them go off to market and they see the money come in and they kind of see the whole process playing out visually in front of them. Those are just, they turn out to be really great kids that kind of understand how the world works, and they're hard workers and whatever they do, typically raised on a farm. It's the same thing. It's kind of like, but it's like the suburban version of having a farm. It's like all those lessons. You guys are going to benefit. So I'm excited for you to all the ways your kids are going to benefit, and then the family building something together. Just love hearing this story, man. All right, so keep it going. Let's get back on track with the numbers, and I'll hear some lessons too, some encouragement for people who are starting this journey or on this journey. What have you learned? Any tips and that kind of thing too. So keep it rocking. You're doing a great job, man.
Yeah. And so we did April with a crazy number. This past May, we did 81,800. That's when at the point like we need to start finding more items to send in. But then at that point too, our work called us back, and we've been doing both. So our year to date, as of June 10th for 2020, we're at $357,600.
Well on your way to quite possibly $1 million year with Q4. Or, sorry, no, we're yeah, that's possible. So I'm just thinking ahead with the Q4. If you guys hit it, I mean that's maybe a big goal. What goal do you guys have?
That is our goal, is to hit our first full year selling on Amazon 1 million.
Wow. Okay. So I was a little prescient there and predicting. Yeah, just kind of doing the math because Q4 should be big, really big this year. Like insane, clear the shelves big, because I don't see many baby boomers hitting the mall for buying gifts for their grandkids this year. I mean, I'd hate to own a mall right now. Sorry, Simon Properties. Nothing against you. Love you guys, but man, that's not the business to be in right now. Um, Online sourcing, it's going to be amazing. Speaking of which, our Q4 groups, I'll put a link in the show notes. Every year we have Q4 groups where we talk about the fourth quarter. Q4 stands for the fourth quarter, the final 3 months of the year, October, November, December, when online shopping explodes. So we help people get ready for it, what types of products to get into, encouraging each other, maybe sharing a few hot, be on the lookout type items, and it's just a great experience. So yeah, this fourth quarter is gonna be huge. And with the, you guys are halfway to 700 right now with the Q4 effect, November, December, especially, man, it's going to be massive. So yeah, you guys can hit it. I'm sure. Can't wait to hear your story towards the end of the year.
Right. And I said to people that just get started, I was there, everything I checked, I scanned, I typed and searched, I was gated. So you'll be gated. Don't be discouraged, because you will get ungated. You will get those categories that you seek after. Just be persistent. Don't give up, because Amazon notices the hard work and effort you're putting towards your business. They're going to look at you um, very respectfully and start allowing you to sell more so on their platform. And I got discouraged many, many a time, but don't give up. You got to be persistent throughout the journey, because yeah, you're going to get beat up a lot. You're going to find killer deals you want to get, but you got to hold off, and just keep striving through it. It is a journey for being a business building warrior. There's a lot of ups and downs, but we noticed, Jim, for us to hit that futuristic number of 1 million, we need to bolt what we have down, what you taught. We have avoided jumping shiny to shiny object syndrome. And our goal is to make this self-sustained, even outsource locally to our family or close friends to take over what we have established, so we can reach and find other avenues of streams of income for our business. So,
Beautiful. I love hearing that. What do you have in mind as other streams? Maybe we can talk a little bit about that. So people who are saying other streams of income, why would you do that? You're building $1 million business. Well, in a way, your eggs are all in one basket. And it's a fairly secure basket. You hear of suspensions and you hear of challenges, but if you can source profitable products, you're in great shape. You can find a partner account, open another account, work with someone else, other platforms. There's always a way forward. But what are your other income streams that you're thinking of at this time?
I've taken a couple courses on pack, the basics, the replens, RAOA, wholesale. But my next one I need to dive in is PPP. And I made contact with a handful of sellers and a handful of real original ideas to allow them to make more sales and possibly negotiate a percentage of that. So that's our next step in the business. And my goodness, eBay, Mercari, it's endless of possibilities in helping other businesses sell that don't know the strategies that you teach and pack that the community shares openly. And there's so many ways. So
That's right. Yeah, the knowledge you have in your head is a gold mine. I would even say this, Adam, as just a thought that will give you some, I don't know, hopefully some security in the path that you're on. If Amazon shut you off tomorrow, you are positioned for greatness right now. Just helping other people get rocking on Amazon, helping them build their brand, continue sort. You know what the profitable products are. You can partner with someone else. You can rest well at night knowing that my Amazon account is not my security. Well, first, God's our security. But from a business standpoint, our security is the knowledge in our head, the relationships that we have, the ability to reach out and partner creatively and say, hey, I'm gonna move some of my product through your account. Maybe you get a partner, a family member, someone else completely detached, different IP, different address, different credit card. Start working their account uphill a little bit. So now you've got two completely unrelated, unattached in any way, never use the same IP address, never log in from each other's house, but you've got that diversity. So you can train others. You can help. You said the PPP, which is proven product partnering, another great module in the Proven Amazon course, where we teach you how to find brands that aren't on Amazon yet, launch them using their own account, like I just talked about. Set it up at their office. You're going to manage it, and they can make you an administrator, and you could administer from home. That's no problem at all. You can be an administrator on someone's account, and you help them ramp up their account, help them manage their listings, because they don't know how to do this. But you're getting a percent. Then the check goes to them, you get a percent. We have people in our community doing just that with dozens of clients. They don't even have their own Amazon account, but they have dozens of Amazon accounts, if you know what I mean. So there's always creative paths forward for new income streams with the knowledge that you have. And you guys have done an incredible job. I'm blown away every time I get a story like this that our community has impacted and influenced, and there's families out there listening to what we say and building an incredible future for their families, for their kids. I love that you've incorporated family. Um, just a great story, man. What else do you have to share with the listeners? Anything else come to mind? Any other lessons or tips or encouragement?
yes, just get out there and do it. You have to make that first sell. Just if it's $5 or even if it's a slight loss, at least you have that. You take the first step. That's the biggest one. Don't give up. Many people I've talked to had trouble setting up an account. Just keep going at it because it's not going to fix itself. You have to be the one to make it get established, to keep working at it. If money is an issue starting out, I think I started out with, $300, but it's so easy just to make a little bit. Look around your house. There's so much stuff to be sold online. People are buying stuff left and right. You don't have to go as far as a third-party platform online. You can do a local garage sale. You can do a Facebook marketplace, meet up locally, and just invest in yourself. Because the hard work you put toward building yourself and all that knowledge you learn and absorb, it's all going to pay off in the end. Don't give up. And just boxes, Jim, this is funny. So we want to save some money on cost for shipping.
Right.
So we would respectfully watch the guys stocking the shelves. Like, hey, you done with that box? You mind if I take it? Like, yeah, sure. So my dad really enjoyed doing that because he'd get a cartload of boxes, just take it out to the car. Like, oh, nice win, Dad. Hey, we got to save money where we can to build our business. So, like, fair enough.
That's great. Yeah, get to know the guys in the back breaking down the boxes, man.
So happily get rid of it. They don't want to throw it
Yeah.
away.
Go back there and help them break them down. Hey, you don't have to dump them in the dumpster. They're not getting any money for that.
Right.
We'll take a load of these. Just find out when they're stocking. When I think a lot of stores would be like a Sunday night, maybe where everyone's got the boxes in the aisles, and just swing in towards the middle of that and help them break down boxes and take them. And you're doing them a favor. You're making their life easier. Yeah, you should never have to pay for boxes, and especially initially when you're getting ramped up. Very creative ways to save money and get boxes there, and you get to know the guys who are doing the stock, and you're building relationships, and they can give you insider tips. And yeah, that's a great tip. I love it.
Even for packing material, this is a big secret I would happily share. If you have a local newspaper company, they get rid of massive rolls of newspaper they can't use for nothing to very, very little cost. That makes perfect dunnage for packing and protecting your items. So just a
Yeah,
little insider tip.
and Amazon will accept it. They don't like the little peanuts. Never use the packing peanuts. But yeah, just those. I know what you're talking about. Those big old heavy rolls of paper. I've seen them. My dad used to work for a newspaper in Bloomington, Indiana. And I remember watching those big rolls, roll off the machine and print in the newspaper. Is fascinating stuff. But I know exactly what you're talking about. One of those could last you a while. One of the big ones.
Absolutely. And it's a great distraction for the kids to rip them off a sheet and doodle on it. So that's a good multi.
Sure. Yeah. And if you do any merchant fulfill, shipping the product yourself to customers, which sometimes there's an advantage in that, especially if Amazon is slow checking in product like they were here recently. You could make a ton of money just merchant fulfilling, shipping the stuff yourself. Or you can have the kids draw little cartoons and little notes, and so people are seeing the drawings. People love that sort of thing too, getting a gift and seeing little kids picture in there, so the kids can be a part of the business. They're making other people smile. I don't know why
Yeah.
it pops into my head to tell the story. I heard recently, I think it was a Daniel Lappin podcast episode, but I'm not sure. But it was actually a concentration camp story where families are in the most desperate imaginable situation, awaiting their likely death together as a family, and sickness, disease all around. And a mom told her little girl that this little girl went on to survive, and shared the story later, that her mom had told her, your job every day is to smile, whether you feel like it, whether you want to smile, whether you're happy, doesn't matter. You walk around with a smile. That's your job. It's a very important job. And she, as a little girl, didn't understand, but a little girl's smile, a little girl's, happy heart. As an adult, we all know, like, that's a priceless sign that there is hope. There's still joy in the world. There's still, so these little kid notes, that's not just keeping them busy work. You could really be making someone's day with that. So I love that you mentioned that, because people sometimes say, how can I incorporate my kids into my business? Well, you know what? Your job is to make sure that everyone who opens a package from us is a smile. It could be a worker at an Amazon warehouse. Drop it in. So you see all those boxes over there? We need a smile in every box. So, here's some crayons, and, that is better than any math lesson. It's better than any other thing you could do that day, just to let them do that for an hour or two. That's just a dad to dad advice, getting your kids in the game. And
I like that. They love to do art, so that'll be perfect.
mhm. And take a picture of it, man, and share it. Maybe even write on some of them, say, hey, text us you with this. If you see this, text us. My kid would love to see what you think of this picture, and put your phone number on there. Why not on a few of them? Get some really cool stuff back. You see, we're impacting very real people with this business, and sometimes it's easy to get disconnected. Like, this is a random widget. This is $8 in the bank. A person's going to get that. Give it as a gift or use it. It's going to bring service into their life that they didn't have before they had that item. Those are real people with an opportunity for relationships. So enjoy the journey, man.
Great idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
What else? What else comes to mind for? I'd like to hear what you'd say to someone who's considering our coaching program. You jumped in Jim Cockrum Coaching. There's a link. I think there's a link at silentjim.com. I can't remember right now, but Jim Cockrum Coaching is the page. But you jumped into it. I'd like to hear what you'd say to someone who's considering that too, as well. I mean, not to push you. Obviously, you had a positive experience, but what
it,
kind of pushed you over the edge, and who do you think that might be a good fit for?
that would be a good fit for all. If you're really wanting to or thinking about doing it, just do it, because there's an investment you're going to put in yourself that will pay you back tenfold. As long as you listen to the coaches, what they assist you with, educate you with, you have to take action. It's all up to you on how bad you want it and how big you want to grow. The sky is the limit because these people know what they're talking about and they are more than happy to help you. They have a heart of a teacher. That's what I absolutely love about it. Because I feel that way at my work, working out at the gym with my coworkers. I have a heart of a teacher. I like to help people get better. I like to help them reach a new PR on the weights. I like to help them at work if they're struggling at all. Every walks of life. And that's what I see in this coaching program. They are there for you, for the people. So
I love it.
please look into it.
We have a saying around here, Adam. Anytime someone says, well, I just want to help people, I correct them. I say, no, that's not what we do here. We don't help people. It's easy to help people. You could run down the street and empty your wallet randomly to strangers and you're helping people, right? Temporarily, possibly enabling. Enabling is helping for a short term. We help people succeed. There's a third word you need. If you're going to say help people, you always got to put a third word on there. We help people grow. We help people thrive. You can't just say, I help people. That's not enough. There's not a relationship there necessarily. But if you're going to help them succeed, thrive, grow, now there's a relationship, there's engagement, there's accountability, there's long-term trust being established. So we don't help people here. We help people grow, thrive, succeed, learn new things that can improve their life, right? So I love what you just said. You said you love helping people hit new goals. So that shows a lot of intentionality. There's a lot of relationship in the way you do things. If you were a stock, I'm buying, buddy. I can't wait to see where this is going for you and your young family. And it seems like yesterday, man, I was right there. You know, actually, you're way ahead of where I was at your age. But it just yesterday, you know, young kids and using the internet creatively and the dream of staying home and it brings there's some nostalgia in seeing where you're at and where I was and how it played out for us. So I'm rooting for you, man. Can I pray for you guys real quick?
Please.
Dude, I don't think I've ever done that on this podcast, but I'm super excited. I just want to pray a quick blessing over you guys and your family. Heavenly Father, I just pray for Adam and his beautiful family, his 3 kids, and the big plans and dreams he has and he's building with his family, Lord. I just thank you. He's doing it all for you, and he's doing it all with a purpose, and he's bringing others along on the journey. That's what a business building warrior does. That's what we're called to do. His business is his ministry. I just pray that you would bless it, help it to thrive and grow, give him encouragement and wisdom and strength for the days ahead. What an incredible story you're writing on this young family's hearts and minds, and so much influence and so much positive result to come. I'm excited to hear what you're going to do with these guys next. We thank you for this family and the blessings you have in store. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Awesome, dude. What a great episode. I'm encouraged, man. I hope you are. I know that most of the listeners are going to be thinking, man, that was really good stuff. And it is. This is legitimate. This is what we do. This is our community. Our coaching has been, 16 plus years? I was talking to Nathan yesterday and he always corrects me. I always guess too low. I'm like, what's it been, 14? He's like, dude, 16, come on, 17 years, man. We've been doing this a long time, buddy. With the same, the same coaching team, the same coaching director and the same phone number. And I mean, it's, a lot of these companies have gone out of business. The reason we're still around is because we work with people until they succeed. We don't help people, we help them succeed. And we're in it for the long term with folks. And, we cry with them, we laugh with them. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. Bad things happen sometimes. But that's the beauty of community. When you start talking multiple income streams, community. You're going to be using your mouth. You're going to be building relationships. You're going to be talking to people. That's your safety net, not your strategies, not your 3 a.m. vision of like, okay, here's the other things I could be doing. It's people, it's relationships, it's communicating. That's your safety net of other opportunities. That's what you lean on is those people. So you're doing it, man. You're doing it. You're on a great path. You've learned these lessons very quickly. All right. What else do you have for the listeners? I just have a feeling like there's got one other nugget in there before we land this episode.
I was going to say I have one more to share with you. So going forward for people like me, there's 1,001 things to do in a day. You're so overwhelmed, swamped with task after task that you almost get stress paralyzed and nothing gets done. what helped me a lot was when Daniel Lappin shared at the Proven Conference. I believe you have a podcast of that recording as well. He shared, have a business journal, write down 3 successes, 3 tasks that you would like to do for that day, and knock those out. Whether it was a fail or a success in that task, make note of it and how you can do better the following day. Give yourself 3 small goals each day to do. That way you're making progress toward building yourself and your business. Don't be stagnant and stop and do nothing. You have to take action.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll stick a link to we've referenced it a couple times today to the keynote from last year, the presentation that Daniel Lappin did. So people can go back and listen to that. That'd be good to stick in the show notes, silentjim.com/podcast. But keeping a journal and jotting down, basically his entire presentation, if I had to reduce it down to 30 seconds and just raving feedback, was you've got to start your days with gratitude, which sounds kind of like, yeah, okay, cheesy, okay, gratitude, whatever. No, it's a big deal. Mindset matters. Gratitude is how you get the right mindset. Writing down what you're grateful for, the business journal concept that you mentioned, you got to be writing this stuff down. It's not good enough to type it into there's a big difference between typing it on the screen, that's more screen time, and writing it down. There's a part of your brain that gets activated when you got a pen. I've got a pen in my hand right now. I'm writing notes. That's better than me having jotted it on my phone. It's just different. And then so the gratitude was one. The other one is use your mouth. That the next step to leadership is always going to be using your mouth, speaking. How do you practice, get better at speaking? You read out loud to yourself. Do you remember him talking about that?
Yeah.
You read out loud. So the next step in your business growth is going to involve you using your mouth more, establishing more relationships, establishing more authority, building strength in bonds in several different areas, like the manager, the guy that's doing the boxes, other people in our community that you can partner with, someone else who has an Amazon account near you, or someone else that's selling on eBay actively, and you find a few products that need to be sold on eBay. Well, you don't have to launch that whole, just take them over there. That's your partner, right? So you're going to need to use your mouth. You're going to need to engage. So those are the things that he pointed out in that episode. If you want to make more money, you're going to use your mouth more, and you're going to write stuff on paper more. And you will make more money if you're disciplined about those things. So yeah, glad you brought that up. Well, man, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you today. This was a really good episode. I think people are really going to enjoy it. And God bless you and your family. And hope to see you guys at the conference, the Proven Conference. It's going to be in October. We had to bump it back. Same place we had it last year in Illinois. Details are on that website. But if they allow us to, we're still kind of up in the air at this point in June 2020. We don't know what October 2020 is going to look like at this point as far as can we gather. Really hoping we can. We want to. So we'll see if that happens. Otherwise, it'll be a phenomenal virtual event. And what we're going to do, Adam, I don't know if you'd heard, is roll over everyone who has a ticket for the 2020 event. You get to go free to 2021 to the Tampa event. Surely by then we'll have figured out how to gather in a group, right? So that'll be great in Tampa in 2021. That's I think it was June 2021. But anyway, that's way out there. But man, good hanging out with you. Thank you, Adam. I want to talk to the listeners for just a second. All the business building warriors that hung out with us today. Hey, I want you to know that the leadership team takes this. This is a challenging time. There's a lot of people who are struggling, who have received bad news, who are not sure what the future looks like financially. And we're here to say that we've got opportunity, and you have a chance to plug into what I believe is the greatest business building opportunity of all time. Just in the last few months alone, online shopping has doubled. That's insane. It's doubled. Twice as many people are now shopping online for the stuff they need than were before the virus stuff hit and all the other activities that have kept people at home. Man, people are shopping online, and Amazon needs help filling the shelves. We can teach you how to do it. It's a great business model that can branch off into multiple income streams. We want you to be a part of this community. We want you to have some hope in your heart, build a great business. It's not expensive to do this stuff. A good place to start is the Proven Amazon course, like Adam talked about. Our coaching is there as well. If you've got a few dollars to put towards rapid advance in your education, we're here for you. We're praying for you. We want you in our free Facebook group. There's a link at silentjim.com where you can do that. Jump into our free Facebook group and see all the success stories. We're coming up, Adam, on 500 success stories in the past few months. It's probably a little longer than that, probably in the last year or so, but these are people who've been bold enough to post their success story. I don't know if you have yet or not, Adam, but I'd love to see you post in there and just share with everybody, but an update on where you guys are at. That'd be really cool because it's so encouraging when people do that. But hey, thanks to our guest, Adam. Thank your wife for us, for loaning you to us and your kids for time today. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you and you cram a lot into a day. So this was very valuable for you to share this time with us today, this hour. God bless you for it. To all the listeners, we're praying for you. We're in your corner. We love you. Let's do this together, and you'll have another episode of Silent Sales Machine Radio coming at you real soon. God bless.